Good everyone, it's Steve from Sneaker Tech Talk, back with another video today. For today's video, we will be taking a look at the 2025 retro of the Air Jordan 5 in the Tokyo colorway. So without further ado, let's take a look at this all-time grail. All right, before we get things started, I do want to take a look at the box for this shoe. You are getting a standard Air Jordan 5 kind of cement print box. The size tag label does read Air Jordan 5 Retro in Varsity Maize, Black, Wolf Gray, and Anthracite. I did get these in a US size 10.5. You should have some black tissue paper and a cardboard divider in the box. But getting into these shoes, man, oh man. If you told me in 2011 that I would own these, I would not believe you. And these are superb in hand, and I am stoked that they are back. So a little bit of history on this shoe. These did originally release in 2011 at the Tokyo, I believe T23 store or whatever in Tokyo, Japan. And it was an exclusive release back then. So the US didn't get these. These didn't release online from my memory. These were very hard to get. They fetched for, I believe, well over $1,000 after its original release. And I'm just really happy to have these back. They look superb in person, and I don't know how much I'm honestly gonna wear a yellow Air Jordan 5, but it's just the fact that I own them and just the history of the shoe. I've always wanted it. I've seen them in person, the originals, many times, and I've always been like, man, I really wanna own that shoe one day, and here we are. So without further ado, let's take a look at the Tokyo Jordan 5s. All right, so full disclosure, one of the differences with this retro versus the originals from my memory is the toe box right here, or the rubber, is yellow at the bottom. The originals, from what I can remember, was black. So they did change that, but everything else is pretty much the same. If there's any other differences, I will throw them up on the screen right now. But as always, starting with the bottom of the shoe, you do have this translucent herringbone traction pattern pods in the heel and the forefoot. You have that yellow hit at the toe, and then the gray Jordan in the middle right here. You do have a Jumpman, kind of looks like a yellow Jumpman of that translucent portion of the outsole. Now, as far as what you're getting for cushioning on this shoe, Tinker Hatfield did give us exposed air at the back of the shoe and then encapsulated air in the forefoot. So back in 1990, this was the best tech the brand had to offer, heel and forefoot air from the brand. The midsole is a polyurethane midsole. Phylon didn't come for a couple more years, or maybe even close to a decade, but you know, this is what we had back then. Is it comfortable on foot? Not overly, but it's an Air Jordan 5. You know what to expect if you've ever owned a pair. So as far as the cushioning goes, the polyurethane midsole and the air sole unit at the back and the forefoot. Moving your way to the upper of this shoe right here, you are getting a nubuck upper in this yellow right here. It looks fantastic. It feels fantastic. This is a pretty premium upper on this shoe right here. It's really nice to the touch. It looks amazing. It's bright in person. You also have the 3M hits on the tongue of this shoe right here, and then the translucent portion for breathability running up the tongue, and the netting on the lateral and the medial side of the shoe. Overall, honestly, I'm not really mad at the upper of the shoe. The quality control is really nice. You kind of have that change of color when you do run your finger across this shoe. The right shoe looks superb. The left shoe looks great as well. So I'm just super stoked to own this shoe here in 2025, but the materials are rather premium. I'm really stoked to get these in person. If you own these and you've worn them, let me know down in the comments, how are they wearing in? How are the materials holding up? But in my opinion, all things point to this upper being rather premium. Now, as far as the fit goes on these guys right here, I'm typically a 10.5 or 11, more so an 11 in my Air Maxes. I cannot wear Air Maxes in a 10.5 because the toe box is a lot more thick and bulbous. Even though this toe box is really nice and tapered compared to other Air Jordan 5s, there's just more room at the front of the shoe, and that's why I go with a size 10.5 in the Air Jordan 5. I would say stick true to size. in an Air Jordan 5 or whatever size you've worn previously, and you should be good to go. Just know that there is a bit more room up front because the toe box is a little taller compared to running shoes and such. But overall, it is a very cozy shoe. It is very comfortable. You have a ton of padding at the top with that ankle collar, the bubbles on the side. This shoe was designed after the fighter jet with those teeth on the side of the shoe. And this is actually Wilson Smith's favorite Air Jordan of all time. He has told me several times that the grape pear is his favorite colorway, but that original sketch from Tinker Hatfield of the Air Jordan 5, he just always loved it. It blew his mind, and I love the 5s as well. Sound off in the comments where they are on your all-time list. But like I already mentioned, go true to size in the Air Jordan 5 for a pretty nice fit. If you want it to be an exact fit with your toe right near the end, you can always go down half a size. A couple other details on the shoe. You do get black laces with this shoe right here and a lace toggle with a gray lace toggle. You also get white laces, which I do think I am gonna throw inside of this shoe. As far as the insole goes, you do have, let's see, the paper and the insole itself, I believe it's a polyurethane insole, and you have this graphic on top of the insole. So I think this is gonna add some pretty nice step-in comfort right off the bat with this insole on the Air Jordan 5 Tokyo. At the back of the tongue, you also have this Air Jordan patch right here. And then on top of the tongue, like I said, you have the 3M and the black Jumpman right here. At the back of the shoe, you don't get Nike Air. They kept it OG, just like the 2011s with the Jumpman right here. And then you do have the plastic eye stays or crowns right here running up in gray. Just an overall very clean shoe. I'm loving what the brand is putting out here in 2025. As far as the price point goes on this pair right here, I believe the retail price point was $220 or $230 USD. Here in Canada, I don't think any retailers got this shoe. I actually had to reach out to a friend over in Japan, and these actually came from Japan. It took about a week and a half to get here in Canada, but boy, oh boy, was I happy to get these in. As far as how much I paid, I think I paid $285 or $290 USD, close to $4 or $420 here in Canada because of the shipping costs from Japan. It was like $55 plus tax, you name it. But you know what? Honestly, for the price point, I'm not mad because this is a shoe I've wanted for well over a decade. And here in 2025, it just seems like the brand is releasing Grail after Grail. But sound off in the comments, did you guys pick up the Tokyo Air Jordan 5? The little Tokyo 23 logo on the side of the shoe. Is this the shoe that you think is still wearable in 2025 going into 2026? For me, it's an absolute yes. I don't think I'm gonna wear this shoe a ton, but honestly, just the fact that I own it was one of those things whereas, man, I have to have that shoe. And I went to great lengths to get these, and to just get these from Japan as well. I think it's really cool that I got the shoe where it originated because I do believe these did release in the US, but here in Canada, we didn't get any retailers that got this shoe from my knowledge. But that's gonna do it for today's video on the Air Jordan 5 Tokyo Retro. Sound off in the comments what you guys think of this shoe. Are you stoked that they did release them here in 2025? Did you pick them up? Let me know down in the comments. For me, it's an all-time grail, and that's why I am stoked to finally add these to the collection. But as always, if you guys could like, comment, and subscribe, that would definitely help the channel a ton. And check out my Instagram over at Sneaker Tech Talk, as it is an extension of my YouTube channel with all my pickups, basketball footage, and nostalgia as a whole. As always, thanks for watching today's video, and until next time, peace.